Chronic kidney disease ranks as the 28th among the causes of death worldwide. In fact, approximately 10% of the whole population has kidney disease. Living with kidney disease does not mean that we have to restrict ourselves from palatable dishes just because to comply with the doctor's requirement on low protein, low phosphorus, and low sodium diet.
In line with this, we have invited the head chef of Rafael's from Resorts World Manila, Chef Jinggoy Fernando, to show us his version of a recipe that we have adapted from our very own Dr. Annabelle Selim from her book entitled What to Eat for Kidney Patients.
Hi,
Hello,
sir.
everyone.
Hi, sir. So, do you think our patients, kidney patients, have the chance to enjoy food with all the dietary restrictions that doctors are giving to them?
Yeah, I think it's part of our job as chefs now to make people enjoy food despite their dietary restrictions. No, it's our job to be creative and find ways na kahit maraming ang restrictions, there's always a way to uh, make food not just palatable but enjoyable for everyone.
So, sir, in line with that, do you have tips for our kidney patients, no, how to make their simple dishes palatable, na complying po with the requirements of doctors na low sodium, low phosphorus, low potassium? So, what do you think? What can they do?
Number one, I think lalo na sa Filipino palate, no, mahilig tayo sa maalat. My biggest tip would be, learn to love spice. No? When I say spice, not necessarily na maanghang. Although yung maanghang also helps kasi the more spices you add to food. For example, yung mga Indians, no, yung food nila, mga curry, very, very much loaded with spices, different kinds of spices, no. So if you learn to eat that way, the spices kasi you get to taste a lot of spices, therefore you'll start to crave for sodium less. The more spices that you introduce to your diet. No? So that I know it's hard dahil Filipino dishes, mahilig tayo sa maalat. So I think that would be my number one tip, no? To introduce a lot of spices to your diet.
Kung baga po sa mga layman is parang pampalasa na iba.
Yes, oo. Spices in general, medyo malasa siya talaga. Malasa sila, strong nga yung flavors nila. So, hindi matabang yung food mo.
Na po. Can you give examples po of
Examples of spices? Marami dyan, but then I would recommend using cumin, very strong flavors, turmeric, paprika, cayenne pepper for a lot of heat. I suggest na for people who yung restricted sa sodium, masanay kayo kumain ng maanghang kasi it's a different kind of pleasure na nakukuha mo when you eat, no? So start trying to eat spicy para na-stimulate yung yung mga taste buds nyo. So yun.
Okay. Thank you, Chef Jingboy Fernando, for sharing your tips and also for gracing our vlog. So for the next part of this vlog, let's watch the video that Chef Jingboy prepared for us and for our kidney patients, so that we will be more educated on how to prepare food and how to select better choices for our kidney patients.
So, thank you po, Chef.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, happy World Kidney Day. I'm Chef Jinggoy Fernando, and today I'm going to show you my version of Arroz Ala Cubana, a dish that's full of protein and vegetables that is really filling and satisfying. For this version, I'm going to use as little sodium as possible, adding a lot of spices so you don't miss the salt, keeping your kidneys nice and healthy. Now for the ingredients, we're going to be using tomato paste and fresh tomatoes. Tomatoes have natural MSG in them, so it will help you to not crave for salt. They will also give a deeper flavor to your dish. Then we're going to use some bell pepper for some freshness, onions for some aroma. We'll also be adding some peeled potatoes that have been soaked in water to remove some of the potassium content. We'll also add some freshly diced carrots and the 50-50 blend of ground pork and beef. Now we're gonna start cooking. Add some oil to a pan, then add the onions and tomatoes so that the aromas release. Then add the carrots so that it starts cooking. Then add the tomato paste and cook it down for a bit so that the flavor develops. Then we're gonna add the ground pork and beef and cook it down until they release their juices. And at this point, we're gonna add your spices so you don't crave for salt too much. You can add as little or as much as you'd like. So 1 teaspoon turmeric, 1 teaspoon cumin, 1 teaspoon paprika, 1 teaspoon cayenne pepper, and a half teaspoon of dried thyme. Then add the potatoes. You can add some water to help cook the potatoes down and so that your dish doesn't dry up too much. And then we add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, which will be our only sodium for this dish. At this point, you can taste for seasoning. Add more spice, add more pepper, add more cayenne pepper if you'd like. Then when the potatoes have softened, add the bell pepper. Then set this aside. And then we're gonna brown some sliced banana saba to accompany the meat. Set this aside. And then we're gonna plate. For plating, we serve it with fragrant rice, the stewed meats, and the fried egg, the bananas. I like to garnish it with some fresh basil. And that's it. This came out full of flavor from all the spices, and you barely miss the sodium. You can apply this to many other dishes as well to keep your kidneys nice and healthy. Hope you like this recipe and eat well while protecting those kidneys.